Right, so if you're not sure where to start with your reading for 2026, you can join me in figuring out what my first book is going to be of next year. This is the first month of our TBR Reading Spa that I'm running with Jen of Jen the Librarian, and it's a reading challenge invitation thing that we're running throughout the year in 2026, where we offer up a few multiple choice questions to help you determine a prompt for your reading from your home library for each month. So let's see what my first book of 2026 will be. Okay, so let's see what January has in store. So first of all, how am I feeling about my reading at the start of the year? Excited for all the new discoveries. Yeah. Curious and open-minded. Somewhat unsure where to start. I'm not going to choose the last one because I feel like, although I'm not sure where to start, there's a few places that I know I don't want to start with. So I think I'm going to choose the first option, excited for all the new discoveries. So the next question then is, do you enjoy the buzz of hyped books? Absolutely not. There's nothing that puts me off more. So that's a no, straight down to my prompt, which is to read the last book I bought or were gifted. Okay, so I have a few books that I got for Christmas and just before Christmas. So what I'll probably do now is take you to my shelves. We can have a look at those and decide which one I'm going to read. Okay, so just so you've got an idea of what we're working with, this is what my kind of TBR bookshelf looks like at the moment. It is hidden behind some presents. So I don't know that I've really shown you my shelves before, so now's as good a time as any. The first top couple of shelves are like favourite books. And then the next couple of shelves, which are these ones, are my TBR, mostly mostly fiction. I have more upstairs that are classics and non-fiction, but I try and keep those separate. And then the bottom shelf, which you can't see because it's hidden, is a combination of like random books, poetry, some books that I'm saving for reading vlogs and bits and pieces like that. So let's see. First of all, let me show you the books that I got for Christmas. Let's start there. Okay, first up, I got Welsh Witchcraft by Mhara, Starling. My mum got me this. It's a bit of a glare. I follow this lovely lady on Instagram. She's got a really nice account that does what it says on the tin. She talks about Welsh Witchcraft, which is lovely. So yeah, delighted to get her book. So that's an option. And then my partner got me two books for Christmas. First is Chris McCausland's autobiography, Keep Laughing, which I hadn't realised was out. We went to see him last year and he did say that he was writing a book and I completely forgot about it. So yeah, that was well remembered on his part. So that's an option. And he also got me The Loneliness of Sonia and Sonny. Sorry, this is The Loneliness of Sonia. Wow, that's hard to say. The Loneliness of Sonia and Sonny by Kiran Desai. I'm really interested to read this, but it's a bit intimidating because it's so big. To be fair, the Chris McCausland book is quite big too. I don't know, like, do I want something really chunky to start the year? Like maybe that's a good option. But I did get a couple of other books right before Christmas. So let me show you them and then we can decide. Okay, so first is the last book that I bought for myself, and that's The Ferryman and His Wife by Frode Grytten. This is translated by Alison McCullough. This is about a man who's a ferryman, goes out on his boat and keeps encountering people from his life who've died, and he's waiting impatiently to see his wife again, who's evidently dead. So that sounds lovely, doesn't it? I thought it sounded lovely. So that's an option. Is that the right sort of vibe for the first book of the year? I'm not sure that's very auspicious. Yeah, okay, that's an option. And the other option is Julian Barnes' Departures, which I was sent by Jonathan Cape right before Christmas. It's not out yet, it's out in January, but I really like the sound of this. I think this is going to be a very Kerry book. They sent it with a really sweet Christmas card, which will be behind me somewhere. It's this one with the dog on it. There you go. So cute. So let me tell you the blurb of this one. Departures is a work of fiction, but that doesn't mean it's not true. I love that already. It is the story of a man called Stephen and a woman called Jean who fall in love when they are young and again when they are old. It is the story of an elderly Jack Russell called Jimmy. I mean, had me at Jack Russell. Any books with dogs, as you know. Enviably oblivious to his own mortality. It is also the story of how the body fails us. Oh my God, that's feeling about right just now. I'm so ill. My immune system is having the biggest tantrum with me at the moment, whether through age, illness, accident or intent. And it is the story of how experiences fade into anecdotes and then into memory. Does it matter if what we remember really happened? Or does it just matter that it mattered enough to be remembered? It begins at the end of life, but it doesn't end there. Ultimately, it's about the only things that ever really mattered, how we find happiness in this life, and when it is time to say goodbye. Okay, that sounds very Kerry, and I'm confident I'm gonna love it, but do I want something that emotional for my first read of the year? The other thing to take in, well, okay, let's talk this through. So the other thing to take into consideration is I'm thinking about like videos looking forward for the rest of the year, or at least kind of to get started and trying to plan ahead a little bit. One thing I wondered is, not now because it's nearly January, but for next month, whether I kind of get ahead with this and do what I've just done now and kind of film me going through the questions and deciding what prompt I'm going to go with and picking a book, but maybe then reading that book in time for you to see it still before the start of the next month. Does that make sense? Yeah, so it would be a shorter reading vlog with just one book, but I thought that might be quite nice. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. The other thing is, I was thinking about what my first like general kind of like themed reading vlog should be for the start of the year, and last year my first reading vlog was books with dogs in. However, if you watched that, you will remember that it was quite a distressing time because whilst I was filming that, my dog broke his leg and was very, very, very unwell, and had to be in like dog hospital for like 2 weeks, and yeah, it was a sad time. So part of me thinks I should avoid that, and part of me thinks I should do that again to kind of like move past any superstition about that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm thinking the latter. I'm thinking I should do my first reading vlog as books with dogs in at the start of the year, as I did last year, but with no disasters this time. That's what I'm thinking, because we don't want to invite any superstition into our lives. So in which case, I think it might be the Julian Barnes Departures. Okay, decision made. I'm going to go with Departures by Julian Barnes. We're doing it. We're doing Dogs in Books reading vlog at the start of the year. So that's decision made. Do let me know in the comments what your first read of 2026 is going to be, and even more importantly, if you've used the Reading Spa to work out what your first read is going to be, and certainly if you've made any videos. I know Ellen from the Ellen Made Book Club has done hers already, so go and check that out, and keep an eye on Jen's channel too, because she'll be doing hers very soon. But yeah, let me know what you're going to be reading for the first book of 2026. Yeah, it feels exciting. And then I think, so you'll see me read this in a different vlog. But then after that, I think the books that I pick for the Reading Spa, I'll try and do a reading vlog, unless anybody tells me that's a terrible idea. I'll try and do a reading vlog in time for you to see that before the next month comes up. Okay, that's it. That's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are looking after yourself, and I'll see you again in another video.